Going live. We're a little bit late. A little bit late. Hey, I'm seeing what time it comes on my phone. Do you think it's going to come on? Anyway, good morning. Hey, this is the 5am Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. It is a Wednesday. I haven't got my notification yet from YouTube. Tell me when we went on live. We'll see when it pops up. And I got upside down pussycat right here. Yeah. Bubbles. She follows me in here when I do the show. Anyway, what's this guy talking about? I don't know. What are you talking about, Bubbles? Anyway, this is the 5am Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And yeah, it's not 5 o'clock in the morning, but I've been reading LinkedIn stuff. Anyway, it's been fun. It is 6:37 a.m. in the morning, and today is our 449th episode. And we love to talk about Scrum and Agile, right, Bubbles? And I'm talking to the cat who's sitting over here next to me, keeping me company. We do it so we can bring value to the customer and per our mission statement to get you home to your family and friends so you can enjoy their time, enjoy your life, have some fun, right? And we want you to have fun in the work and home and not work 68 hours a week. Probably said that twice, didn't I? Oh, well. Anyway, I'm all excited today. Why am I excited? Hit 10,000 connections in LinkedIn yesterday. So I got this morning. It said 10,010. So the number is 1010. if you're gonna gamble, pick 1010. So I'm really excited. I'm happy to get there. It was as a goal I had earlier in the year. At one point, I'll show you how I was tracking it and kind of what I did. But it's great. I thank you all for connecting with me, and hope you get to use my connections to help yourself out. I want to talk a little bit about connecting and job locations and things like that. And then I want to talk about goals. When goals are done well, what are they used for? And I shared a link yesterday on LinkedIn and I think Facebook for Elon Musk was talking about goals. He was talking at the Mars. What are you talking about? The Mars 2020 conference, a virtual conference for people who want to go to Mars. So it was really interesting. But he talked about goals that really stuck out to me on how his thought process is and how he uses goals, which was very good, by the way. So, of course, we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about the goals first. And, I always had problems, I'll be honest with you, with the sprint goal and how to do it and what it should be. And I talk about the mechanics of it. And it still, doesn't get there until I heard what Elon Musk had to say. However, it's a little larger goal process, but maybe pare it down to the team is the way it's a good idea. So here's what he said. Because you were asking about Mars and how do you get to Mars, and he was doing some interview questions. I really recommend watching the video, which I did put on LinkedIn yesterday. It's in YouTube. Maybe I'll like it on my YouTube page too, and I'll share it. You have to say what is the goal, right? So you want to find out what the goal is. And once you have what is the goal, you can measure the various designs against the goal. And he was talking lofty. Like if you wanted to go to Mars, you're not going to, if that's your goal, I want to establish, and he made it was very interesting. He was talking about a difference between I'm just sending something to Mars. We could do that today, he says. I can send something to Mars now. I can send a robot to Mars now, and no big deal. But he says the goal for him was to have a permanent establishment, living people on Mars. And that's his goal. And then he went backwards and designed it to get there. So what do I need? I need a couple million pounds worth of material to be moved to Mars. Fuel, people, everything. And it's need to be sustainable. Otherwise, it's just us sending stuff back and forth like we do today. And it says it's not the value there. So he has this goal, people being there so he established his goal, right? And then he designed backwards. Okay, I got to send millions of pounds worth of material there. Well, the current rockets that everybody's designing, these once and done rockets, can't get enough material up there to get there. You need to make it reusable because you need to do it lots of times because it's going to take a lot of trips to get 1 million pounds worth of material into space from Earth. So you can't just do it once. You'll never get there. It'll take you 1 million years. It'll cost you trillions of dollars. So in his design process, I needed a bigger ship because I needed to carry a lot of stuff. And I need something reusable because I need to do it a lot of times. So it's very simple. It's complicated. If you start doing the engineering and the rocket design and all that, yes, the details, but the simplicity is, if I want to establish there, my goal is to establish a permanent house. To get there, I need to get a lot of material up in space at a lot of times. And what we currently have, nowhere near the possibility. So why screw around with designs that'll never get you there? So his mindset, we're going to design something to get us there. I'm not going to screw around and mess around, make some profit here and there with these reusable, but he wanted the reusable technology to get him as a stepping stone, an iterative design to where he needs to be. He needed to learn how to get all this reusable stuff to working because he knew in the end to get there, it had to be reusable. It had to be multiple times and had to have some way of being used and not costing $1 billion to relocate across the world to launch again, right? That's why the space shuttle wouldn't work, right? So the idea of using those goals to establish that is what we should be doing with our sprints, right? We look at our goal. What do we want to build? I want to build a page. I want to build a company. I want to build this company that nobody else has. How do I get there from here, right? Rather than let's tinker around with the web interest. No, what is the goal? What do you want to deliver? What do you want to deliver in a sprint? What's the goal for the sprint? Well, I want these 2 features. Okay, to bring these 2 features, what stories do we need to do to deliver in this sprint to deliver this feature? That's how you do it, not all these little stories. I said, the goal is this come November. What do we need to do to deliver this in November? Boom, 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 right? And it just lays out to deliver that goal. So being goal-oriented, and then you demo the goal. Hey, we celebrate, we made the goal. Problem is we don't celebrate enough. But that's the idea. So you got to have a goal. The goal is your point of focus where you're heading to. Humans like having goals, like having a focus point to head to. It's just the way we are. So just saying, hey, I want to do 10 stories a sprint, or my goal is 40 points in a sprint. That's not a goal. It's not a goal. That's not a goal, right? And people say, what's your goal? Well, it's to deliver these 10 features. Well, what's the feature? What's the value of that feature, right? And so that's the idea, all right? So now I want to talk about goals. I will share that link. I put it up there. Again, watch the Elon Musk. Yes, it's about Mars, and people are, kind of geeky and everything like that, but it's very good. And I did point the mark. I'll put a note in this video when that mark is. And again, thank you very much for 10,000 connections on LinkedIn yesterday. It was a goal that I'm hoping will be a step. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 449 videos plus other stuff that I've done and make sure I'm going to make them into smaller segments, because part of my thought was, okay, I can break all these down, but if I have no audience to share it with, it's a lot of work for very little return. So I'm going to make these things smaller, share them out. That's my plan. But what is the benefit of having all these connections? One, jobs. Help everybody on the thing. So people always ask me about jobs. How do I locate? I said, well, use LinkedIn. Get some connections. Go meet some people. I've had a ball meeting people from all around the world during this process and just learning what's going on. I got some coachees. I got a coachee in New Zealand, Ireland, London, Atlanta, out west in Washington State, here in Pennsylvania. They're scattered all throughout. I think I had one in Oklahoma. I had one in Utah, a couple in Texas, just all scattered around the world. So it's been really cool adventure. And just listening to all these people talking about Agile and Scrum. My connections, I really try to concentrate on Scrum people, Agile people in that realm, and connect to those people so that it gives an opportunity for people to connect. One of the pieces of advice I would have for people looking for jobs when you get those recruiters who try to connect you and offer you a job, maybe you're not interested, maybe you got a permanent job and you're not interested right now, still go ahead and connect with them. They're doing their job. They're trying to offer you opportunities to go. You can tell them I'm not interested and they'll go away. They're pretty well mannered from a business perspective, not like the politician text message we get all day long. But everybody's pretty good. And why do I connect to recruiters and to people who do the consulting gigs and stuff like that? Because they got a lot of connections. So even though you're like, oh, it's just a recruiter, the way LinkedIn works, it's the second that allows you to connect. So if you connect to a recruiter who's doing business with a company you may have interest in the future, that recruiter has a lot of connections in that company. Maybe they placed people in that company. And I also look at that too, by the way. I try to see if I got a recruiter, how many people did they place in that company that I'm interested in and to see successful. Because if I don't see a lot of connections to people in the company, I go, really, are you really that well connected? So to me, it's a way to verify whether or not a recruiter has any business relationship with anybody in that company. Because if they're any good, they should still be connected in LinkedIn to anybody who they working for that company. So in LinkedIn, anybody can do this. Like if the recruiter sends, hey, I'll just use Comcast, for example. Got a job in Comcast because it's a big thing in Philly. Do you want the Scrum Master role or an Agile coach role or whatever? I will look at all their seconds because they're all related to me, first and seconds, and I'll say anybody who works at Comcast. I'll look to see how many connections they have at Comcast, right? There you go. If they have two, I'm like, no, because you don't have any relationships whatsoever with the company, So it's a little bit of that. So you can use that for helping doing your job search as you go. So that's what I got today. Again, thank you very much for the 10,000 connections. I hope you have an awesome day. Got a lot of stuff to do today. Some things I forgot, which we'll talk about cadence tomorrow, that I screwed up on my cadence because they went out of cadence and messed me up. But, have your goals, where you want to head to, why you want to do, and set your next goal and achieve those goals. It may take some time, get some distraction, but it's nice having those goals. And when you make it, celebrate it. So thank you all very much for all the connections and the great stories that I read from people who are publishing up there and putting stuff up. It's some great stuff out there, and I enjoy it very much. Ring a little bell, subscribe so we can share and continue on. And I got some ideas from TikTok from one of my connections on LinkedIn. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Take care. Have a good Friday. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye, Bob.